A policy of never-ending lockdowns, month after month, would ultimately do more harm than good to public health. But the young and the healthy to safely return to work and to school. We have to open our schools. Open our schools. Stop this nonsense. We open our schools. We saved millions of lives. Now it's time to get back to work. A lot of people were against those bans, and now they admit, most of those same people admit that ban was the greatest thing. It saved so many lives. Crucially, we realize that the health of a nation's economy is fundamental to the health of its people. In the last 2 months, we have begun the fastest economic comeback in history, including an increase in Hispanic American employment of more than 2.1 million jobs. It's a record. It's going to be good for them politically, so they keep the schools closed. No way. So we're very much going to put pressure on governors and everybody else to open the schools.
The president said he will not allow states to keep their schools closed. He accused state leaders of attempting to keep schools closed for political reasons, not out of concern for the children.
Who is opposed to opening schools? Take a guess. The teachers' unions. The teachers' union's position on every question is always the same. They would like less work, no accountability, and much more pay.
We are so deep down into a well of lies, it is hard to even realize how dark this is. There's no political benefit in keeping schools closed, keeping kids upset and parents angry, and parents unable to work because their kids are stuck at home. Oh yeah, politically, that's going to serve you really well by doing that.
There's just no question. The kids benefit in school. Life is full of risks. Kids should learn that early. That life is full of hurdles. Got to find a way to overcome. This is not Ebola. It's the coronavirus. Mostly the kids, 99.9% of kids will not be affected by it at all. We know about the transference. We also know about the rarity. This is a risk that has to be taken.
We're getting knowledge from Tony Fauci, and we're getting ignorance from the President of the United States. The president has only one goal right now, and his goal is to get reelected.
There is no excuse for schools not to reopen again and for kids to be able to learn again full time. The data doesn't suggest anything different. The medical experts aren't suggesting anything different.
When I started teaching, we were worried about kids passing notes in school. We were worried about kids chewing gum. Now we're dealing with pandemics walking into our classroom and shooters. This is a very harsh reality for teachers across the country.
We have seen, for example, the American Association of Pediatrics saying we need to get these schools open. They need to have this classroom learning experience. It's vital for the mental health of these children. We've also seen Dr. Fauci come out and say that closing up the schools would have unintended negative consequences.
The single biggest thing that's going to prevent us from having schools open this fall is the large outbreaks we're seeing across the country. Until we can get that under control, we're not going to be able to get kids back in safely and keep them there.
We ought to well be concerned about children falling behind academically, and there's no substitute for in-classroom learning.
From a psychological standpoint, with respect to staying home any longer, you can't do it. You can't do it. That has great dangers also.
When children are out of school, they are missing more than just time in the classroom. They're missing the laughter of their friends, learning from their teachers, and the joy of recess and play.